Hey there, my name's Miranda and I teach you how to paint confidently with watercolors so you can create beautiful art that you're proud of. In today's video, I'm teaching you how to paint an easy watercolor painting for beginners. So by the time you're done watching this video, you'll know how to paint a watercolor lake with a moon in only 10 minutes. So let's get started. In this tutorial, I'm using 3 pigments by the brand Sennelier. They are Opera Rose, Phthalo Blue, and Payne's Gray. I will be using white gouache for the highlights, and the brushes I'm using are an oval, round size 8, 4, and 2 brush by the brand Silver Black Velvet. And lastly, the paper I'm using is cold pressed watercolor paper by the brand Arches, and it is 100% pure cotton. First of all, load up your brush with some clean, clear water. You're going to use your largest brush to disperse that water evenly all over your watercolor paper because you will be coming in next with the wet on wet technique. Now, switch to your round 8 brush and load it up with some Opera Rose. You're going to apply the Opera Rose in the lower third of the painting, and I will explain why in a little bit. Next, rinse off your brush and then dilute some of the phthalo blue pigment. Apply it to the very bottom of the painting and work your way upwards until the blue meets the pink pigment. Then you're going to do the same thing by applying the blue to the top of the paper, and then as you move it down the page, it is going to get lighter and lighter. When the blue and the pink come together, they will blend to create a very light shade of purple. After you've added the blue, go back in with the pink and add a little more pigment and then blend it out so you get this nice pink pigment with a little bit of purple blending into that blue. Add a little more of the phthalo blue pigment and then let the painting dry. While it's drying, mix some of the phthalo blue with Payne's Gray. Adding these 2 colors will create a very dark shade of blue, something like a dark indigo color, and you will use this dark blue color to paint the mountains. If you're enjoying this video, give it a like so that you can help the YouTube algorithm spread this video to more people. Your like matters because this one small action has such a huge impact on the growth of our wonderful art community. Now, load up your paintbrush with the dark blue pigment and draw the horizon line in the middle of that pink area on your paper. The horizon line basically distinguishes the point where the sky and the earth meet. You're going to draw mountains that are sloping down into a V in the middle of the painting. So draw the rough outline of the mountains and then fill in that entire area with the dark blue pigment. Once you are done, you're going to go in one more time, but this time you're going to refine the shape. So make sure the mountains look very natural. So there should be some bumps, there should be some dips in those mountains. Don't try to make them look exactly the same. You want these mountains to have an organic feel. Now add a little more pigment at the bottom there on the horizon line, and then you're going to rinse off your brush and load it up with some water. With this clean, clear water, drag it across the horizon line so that it blends into that pink pigment. By doing so, it gives these mountains a kind of misty look, like there are distant reflections of those mountains on the water. Now, switch to your size 4 brush and load it up with some white gouache. Draw a small circle in between those mountains, and this circle represents the moon. Compositionally, you can see that the sloping mountains are drawing your attention to this moon. Now, the last step is to switch to a small round 2 brush and load up that brush with some white gouache. The paint to water ratio should be mostly pigment with just a little bit of water because you are using the dry brush technique to apply the white gouache onto the surface of the lake. By using the dry brush technique, you get this really rough texture that is perfect for creating the reflections of the moon on the lake. So build this up maybe 2 or 3 times, and as you do so, make some parts a little bit lighter and some parts a little bit darker. You want it to look uneven because that will make the reflections look more realistic. Now comes the best part. Carefully peel off all 4 pieces of tape, and voila, your easy watercolor landscape is complete. Congratulations, I'm really proud of all the hard work you put into this painting. See, look how fast and easy this tutorial was. So if you want more tutorials just like this, check out this next watercolor tutorial I have for you. It is just as fun and just as easy. So I'll see you in the next video.